Today we're taking a look at the Atlanta Hawks vs New York Knicks match, which is happening on Friday, May 28, 2021, and giving you my betting tips and predictions in general on this game. Welcome back to High Stakes. Let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. And if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 270 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours and hours of your time searching the internet for some fake betting predictions and losing your money because of it. Join High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks and advices instantly. Former league MVP Derrick Rose scored 26 points and Julius Randle bounced back from a poor first half as the Knicks took a thrilling Game 2 at home. The winner of the NBA's Most Improved Player award finished with 15 points and 12 rebounds despite another poor shooting night. He was 5 for 16 after going 6 for 23 in the opener. Obviously, throughout the game, there's going to be frustrations, but we know who we are as a team, Randle said to AP reporters after the game. We're never going to doubt whether we can win a game or not. Randle came through when it counted most along with Reggie Bullock, who made 4 3-pointers in the second half and also had 15 points as the Knicks guaranteed there will be at least one more home game in this surprising season. Atlanta led by 12 midway through the third before Randle helped power a 16-2 spurt. His jumper after consecutive 3-pointers by Bullock capped the surge and made it 74-72 with 1:45 left in the period. The Knicks carried that momentum and held on for the win. Aside from Payton hurting the spacing, the biggest issue for the Knicks is that the league's most improved player, Julius Randle, hasn't looked like his regular season self through the first 2 games of this series. Randle was just 6 of 23 for 15 points in Game 1 and 5 of 16 for 15 points in Game 2. More troubling is that this Knicks offense is highly dependent on a 32-year-old Derrick Rose. While he has been solid, averaging 21.5 points, 4.5 assists, and 4.5 rebounds off the bench, it doesn't speak well of this team that they need him to play almost 40 minutes for this team to compete. The New York offense is scoring just 103 points per 100 possessions in these playoffs and is shooting just 34.9% from behind the arc. It's becoming increasingly clear that this team is overmatched on that end of the court. The Knicks have relied on their defense through 2 games, but they're yet to find an answer for Trae Young, who's abused them in the pick and roll, getting downhill into the paint at will. The young talent in these playoffs have been extremely exciting to watch. Luka Doncic, Ja Morant, and the Atlanta Hawks' very own Trae Young have set the world on fire, showing us the league is in a very good place. Young has been unstoppable through 2 games, showing us he's a maestro in the pick and roll, scoring and making plays for others. Young is averaging 31 points, 8.5 assists, and 4 rebounds on 51% shooting and 50% from behind the arc. Young's impact on this series can't be understated. In Game 1, he came off the bench to a 10-point deficit with 8:34 remaining and led a 13-3 run to tie the game with 5:06 left in the fourth quarter before the team went cold to end the game. You have to wonder how many more assists Young would have if his teammates could actually make many of the open looks he's been generating throughout this series. The Hawks are shooting just 30.8% from behind the arc through 2 games, coming off a game in which they shot 12 of 44, 27.3% from behind the arc. Despite getting quality looks, the Hawks couldn't buy a bucket from 3-point range, with Bogdanović going 2 of 13, 15.4%, Danilo Gallinari going 2 of 9, 22.2%, DeAndre Hunter going 3 of 8, 37.5%, and Kevin Huerter going 1 of 3, 33.3%. Even Lou Williams, who scored 13 points on 6 of 9 shooting in Game 1, struggled, going 1 of 6 for just 5 points in Game 2. The NY Knicks are one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. In fact, they ranked first in points allowed, giving up only 104.7 points per game. As such, they are gritty, tough, and they play every game close. Both games in this series thus far have gone down to the wire, even Game 2, which the Knicks won by 9, but it was close right down to the end. I expect the Hawks to bounce back in Game 3 and in particular John Collins, who barely played and didn't do much when he did with 0 points and just 2 rebounds. That said, I think 4.5 is too much to give the Knicks. Young was the only player to shoot above average from downtown, and the Hawks paid the price for it as they blew a game in which they led by 13 at the half. Young stamped himself as a villain by holding his finger to his lip and taunting the crowd after his winning shot Sunday to tell them to quiet down. The profane chants that were aimed at Young in Game 1 started before the Hawks were even on the court for warm-ups in the second game, and he was loudly booed every time he touched the ball. He was scorching hot late in the second quarter from inside and outside. He pulled up from 30 feet for a three-pointer, made a reverse layup, a jumper, and another triple in a 12-1 run that made it 57-42 in the final minute of the half. The Hawks simmered down in the final 2 quarters, scoring only 35 points in the second half and coming away with a loss. Game 3 will be the first playoff game at State Farm Arena since its renovation in 2018. My first betting advice for that game is to pick Knicks plus 4.5. The New York Knicks were in danger of going down 2-0, losing 2 high-owned games. That is basically the death knell for a playoff team. But then about midway through the third quarter, down by double digit, the Knicks began to make their run. Led by Derrick Rose and Julius Randle, they rallied to win the game 101-92. The New York Knicks look for back-to-back wins to take a key 2-1 series lead. The New York Knicks are averaging 103 points on 41.5% shooting and allowing 99.5 points on 42% shooting. Derrick Rose is averaging 21.5 points and 4.5 rebounds, while Alec Burks is averaging 19 points and 3 assists. Julius Randle is the third double-digit scorer, and RJ Barrett is grabbing 9.5 rebounds. The New York Knicks are shooting 34.9% from beyond the arc and 73.7% from the free throw line. The New York Knicks are allowing 30.8% shooting from deep and are grabbing 51.5 rebounds per game. It was not pretty, but the Knicks have been winning ugly all season. They only shot 38% in the game but held the Hawks to 36% shooting. They out-rebounded the Hawks 54-41 and had 8 steals. Rose led the Knicks with 26 points while Randle had 15 points and 12 rebounds. Reggie Bullock added 15 points with 4 threes while RJ Barrett added 13 points. The Atlanta Hawks were on their way to going up 2-0 and returning home for Game 3, but then the Knicks rallied and won Game 2 101-92. The Hawks only shot 38% and were badly out-rebounded, which was surprising given they are the 5th best rebounding team in the NBA. A big reason they were out-rebounded was because one of their big men, John Collins, was invisible. The Atlanta Hawks look for a bounce-back performance to take a 2-1 series lead. The Atlanta Hawks are averaging 99.5 points on 42% shooting and allowing 103 points on 41.5% shooting. Trae Young is averaging 31 points and 4 rebounds while Bogdan Bogdanovic is averaging 18 points and 5 rebounds. DeAndre Hunter is the third double-digit scorer and Kevin Huerter is grabbing 4.5 rebounds. The Atlanta Hawks are shooting 30.8% from beyond the arc and 85.3% from the free throw line. The Atlanta Hawks are allowing 34.9% shooting from deep and are grabbing 41.5 rebounds per game. For some reason, Collins only played 14 minutes and had 0 points and 2 rebounds. They need more from him than that as he averages 17.6 points and 7.4 rebounds per game. Trae Young once again led the Hawks with 30 points with 7 assists. He drained 4 three-pointers. Bogdan Bogdanovic and DeAndre Hunter each had 18 points while Kevin Huerter added 10. Clint Capella only had 4 points with 12 rebounds. My second betting advice for that game is to pick under 211. Good luck to all of you. That's it for this video. Stay tuned and stay safe for the next betting tips and advice.